This is the IST Health Tip of the Day. I'm your host, Roberto Parker. This podcast, we tackle the tough questions related to exercise, training for athletes, human performance, biochemical, biomechanical dysfunctions, problems that sometimes you have questions about that you don't quite know the answer to. So stay tuned, enjoy, take good notes, and God bless. Hello, everybody. Roberto here with another IST Health Tip of the Day. Today's topic is: should I drink smoothies? Now, back in my day, we just called them milkshakes. I know we've gotten a little bit more elaborate now. People make their smoothies out of fruit and different types of ingredients. They have smoothie bars. They have different type of businesses that are like drive-throughs. You can buy smoothies. They're pretty expensive. Now, personally, I make my own. Now, let me just say this much about smoothies. They are a supplement like any other type of supplemental product you might buy at a health food store. They are supplements. They are not meant to be the complete substitute for solid foods. Now, one thing about smoothies that I do not like, which is really the topic of the day, let's talk about the cons. They tend to empty from the stomach very, very quickly, thus creating more hunger, because chewing is a process in which your body starts to break down foods, and that adds some satiety to what you're eating. But if you're drinking a smoothie, you take some of that satiety component out of it. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you're in a hurry, you're on the go, you only have a few minutes, throw something in the blender, pulverize it down the hatch. But keep in mind that the more you pulverize it, the less fiber it's going to be, and it's not going to fill you up as much. Now, another thing about smoothies, they tend to create bloating in a lot of people. Uh, I think because they go through your system so quick and you're putting in a lot of stuff in there that is maybe too concentrated and it's causing some digestive constipation or even diarrhea at times. So just be advised of that. Now, also with smoothies is this. Now, a lot of people drink smoothies thinking they're going to lose weight, but I got news for you. If you're drinking smoothies, especially with a lot of fruit juice, that's a lot of sugar. Let me give you an example. If you make a smoothie with plain water and just put some blueberries or blackberries in it, and I'll go over this in a second, maybe with a little dash of protein powder, you're going to have about 12 to 15 grams, maybe 20 grams at the most of sugar. If you make it with fruit juice, you're looking at probably 40 to 60 grams of sugar. So just be advised on that. Okay, so there's a big difference. If you're trying to lose weight, that is not a good way to go. Now, another con is insulin spike. If you're making a lot of smoothies or shakes or whatever with a lot of fruit and you're trying to lose weight, you're going to get that insulin spike. And that's not what you want, because when you're trying to lose weight, you want to keep your insulin levels low as you can, because insulin will cause, can lead to insulin resistance. And when that insulin is spiking like that, you're also going to counteract a depression in growth hormone. Now, look, most people want to lose body fat and lean up. You might lose a little bit of weight, but you're not going to put on any muscle because you're lowering your potential of growth hormone production. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the cons. Now, one of the good things about smoothies, like I just said, it's quick and it's easy. It's palatable. It tastes good. And just because something tastes good, by the way, doesn't mean that it's good for you. If you're trying to gain muscle or put on weight, now most people aren't trying to put on more body fat, at least I don't think so. But if you're trying to put on muscle, for example, I've trained athletes over the years, and I was an athlete myself back in the day, uh, wanting to put on some weight, and I drink protein shakes. Now, the protein back in those days was not very good. I'll admit that. And by the way, even with protein, I did a podcast on this a couple podcasts ago. Make sure it's quality protein with ingredients that you can understand. The less ingredients in the protein, the better. Just pure protein. Personally, I use egg white, but put some protein in there with some different other type of ingredients, maybe a banana, some peanut butter, some almond butter. If you want to make more of a milk type shake smoothie, and that will help you put on some body weight. Now, another good thing about smoothies is that if they're more of a fruit smoothie, you're going to get plenty of antioxidants from that because fruits and things like kale and spinach have good sources of antioxidants. Now, another good thing about making a smoothie is that they give you an insulin spike. Now, I just said a while ago that was a con, didn't I? So I'm not contradicting myself. If you're trying to put muscle on, that is what you want because you get that insulin spike and you've just worked out intensively. That's the key there. Intensively, you get that insulin spike along with the protein. It's going to escort that protein to the muscles more efficiently. But it's got to be within an hour, no more than an hour after you do an intensive workout. So the insulin spike can be a pro and a con. Okay. Now, I want to go over just a couple of recipes here. Here is a fruit juice smoothie, and the amount of carbs is 33. The amount of sugar is 27 grams. The amount of protein is less than 1. Now, this particular smoothie has no protein powder in it. Now, let's take another one here. A milkshake smoothie made with almond milk, banana, and protein powder. The amount of carbs is 38. The amount of protein is 26. These are all in grams, by the way. The amount of fat is 3. Okay? Now, here's another one. This is just made with plain water, and here are the ingredients an avocado, blackberries, protein powder. That's it, in plain water. Now, the amount of carbs is 24. And by the way, the milkshake smoothie was 285 calories total. Okay, now, the plain water smoothie with the avocado, blackberries, and protein powder, carbohydrates are 24, protein is 25, fat is 2, all in grams. The amount of calories is 205. Now, out of those two, the milkshake smoothie, if I've got someone who's trying to put on a little bit of muscle and body weight, that's what I'm going to have them drink. In fact, I'll probably have them put more than that in there. I'll probably have them put even some peanut butter or almond butter in there. Okay? That's going to beef it up probably up till around 350 calories with more protein and more fat. Now, the plain water smoothie, that's going to be for somebody who's trying to take off a little bit of weight, some body fat. Because why? Because it has a lot less sugar in it. There's more fiber in it. And with the fiber in there, even though, yeah, you're putting some blackberries, I know blackberries have sugar, I know that. That you're talking just really just about a tablespoon of blackberries. But because of the avocado, which also is a good source of fat and fiber, and blackberries have fiber, you're going to counteract the amount of sugar that's in there. So let's say there's 10 grams of sugar and about 5 grams of fiber. That is a net gain of only 5 grams of sugar. Okay, so fiber helps to counteract the amount of sugar. So, having said that, the milkshake smoothie is for someone who's trying to put a little bit of muscle on, and the plain water smoothie is for someone who is trying to take some body weight off. Now, here's what I do. After my workout, and I do a lot of heavy weightlifting and sprinting and jumping, I'll come home, or sometimes I'll take the container with me. I'll take some egg white protein, plain water. I get some of those fizzy tablets from Sprouts, and I put that in there to add some flavor to it, and also give you that insulin spike. Put just a little bit of turmeric in it. Shake it up. Wait for it to settle for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll wait about a half hour after I'm training, after the workout is concluded, and that's what I'll drink. That's just plain water, protein, and a little bit of a fizzy tablet and some turmeric. That's it. That's what I take after my workout because that gives me that insulin spike because of the fruit fizzy in it. Now there's no fat in there, but it also gives you plenty of protein. And the one thing about protein is this. And I talked about it before. It's not really the amount of protein, it's the quality of the amino acids that you want in the protein. Because amino acids is what's going to help you put on that muscle and hopefully lose body fat. Now, to wrap it up here, a smoothie, once again, should not be a replacement of what you wanting to eat, solid foods. That is not the purpose. Now, you can make your smoothies with, to have a little bit more solid composition to them by not pulverizing it quite as much in the blender, especially if you're going to use fruit or some sort of vegetables. You can have some chunks in there, which gives you a little bit more fiber without the pulverization, because the more you pulverize it, the less effective the fiber is going to be. I would also recommend that you put some sort of fat in there, because most Americans don't consume enough good saturated fats in their diet, in their nutritional habits. The avocado, for example, or maybe some coconut oil or something like that. Okay, so that's my recommendation. It's not a replacement, it is a healthy alternative adjunct to solid foods. If you're in a hurry and that's your only option, then that's okay, but don't make a habit of it. And I'm not saying don't take smoothies at all. That's not what I'm saying here. Just keep in mind, they're not a replacement for solid foods. They are an adjunct to foods as a reputable replacement at times. Now, you can drink it in between meals that way if you want to do it that way too. Okay? So, if you have any questions about anything at all, I do menu planning, guys. I do dietary assessments, metabolic assessments, which is important, by the way. We need to know what your metabolic composition is, because that will determine, are you trying to put on weight, lose weight, the type of food you should be eating, should not be eating, the type of training you should be doing. Is it more weightlifting? Is it more cardio? Is it kind of in the middle? So those are all important components and factors. I'll put my info on the screen here in a second. Give me a call, email me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Rumble, all these crazy social media sites, this high tech stuff. So contact me and I'll be glad to work with you and set up a plan for you. This has been the IST Health Tip of the Day. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.